So I definitely plan to make a lot of YouTube videos on the E92. I've been storing footage of in landscape from my iPhone. I'm going to make separate videos on everything that I've done, but I wanted to make the YouTube videos a lot more fast paced. I thought I'd use these TikTok to give you guys really quick update vlogs instead of just every YouTube video being a vlog and I got X amount accomplished. I thought I'm going to do it a little bit different style. So keep out on the YouTube and you'll see a little bit more information that I don't show in these TikTok videos, but it's time to give you guys an E92 update because it's Thursday and I'm back at the farm. Been doing a little bit of shop cleaning in the farm. The E36 is stored away over here. Don't plan on doing anything with it with the rest of the year. Got some tables cleaned up over here. Moved the toolboxes back. I've been cleaning up a bunch. My uncle's here, been cleaning up. Got the E92 jacked up and I'm starting to work on the oil cooler. As you can see, we are leaking a lot of oil from this oil line right here. It's going everywhere. Down here, like I just took off the cover, got oil everywhere, oil leaking on the ground, oil all around here. All the oil is a little bit of a shame since I pressure washed this whole car and cleaned it all up, and now I have to do that again in order to clean all this oil off it while I change the oil cooler. Now that line itself, even with my employee discount, was like $200, and I figured, well, why would I spend $200 to replace the oil line, and then maybe the second oil line goes on me as well when I can take this time and get an upgraded oil cooler in there, AN line, for the exact same price or a little bit more than what that OEM line would cost me. This is the oil cooler kit that I got. We have the AN lines, a bunch of fittings to go with it, and then underneath or in here, and I got this oil cooler to go in. I think it's a 16 line. Now the mounting kits aren't perfect. I might have to fab up some extra brackets from where it was. There was some kits that you could get that was exact fitting kits, but those ones were twice the price. And really, I don't mind making a generic kit just fit in there. I'm going to start taking out the top stuff, and then we're also going to be changing out the coolant overflow tank because we're going to change the thermostat as well. And I think this is leaking a little bit of coolant, and I got a spare one. So we're going to swap that out. I'm going to do the oil cooler first, and then we'll get into the thermostat. Okay, so I got the oil cooler out. I got the radiator fan out. I got the oil lines out. And yeah, it looks like my AC line was pushed into my fan. I think it's supposed to be behind this coolant tube. So I got to swap that out. I'm going to take this off, and then we're going to get to the thermostat down there. Okay, I got the expansion tank out. We got 4 of the thermostat hoses disconnected. I just got to pull out the thermostat. Got coolant going everywhere. Finally got the thermostat out. It is grimy, all that oil and dirt. Got the fresh one ready to go in. Let's use my little pressure washer and pressure wash as much of the oil away as possible. I've got to work on getting that thermostat back in. Maybe I'll connect this first, make it easier. Okay, old oil cooler is out. And new oil cooler is in. Gonna tuck away the lines. Gonna top it up with some oil just to make sure it's not leaking before I tighten everything up. Guess I'll continue this video with a part 2. All right, let's use this comment for part 2. I did get my Starbucks in the morning, and let me show you guys where I'm at with the E92. If you haven't watched the last video, oil cooler's out, thermostat has changed, new oil cooler is in, tashed away over there. I topped it up with oil and nothing's leaking. So now I'm gonna put the fan back in place, put the cables somewhere, top up the coolant, and then put the fender liner in. I ended up having to cut out all of the fins, and I'm gonna use a mesh to cover the oil cooler. Not the best, but the oil cooler is thicker than that stock one, and it's just sitting a little closer out. It should be fine for wheel clearance, but yeah, we're gonna use mesh for that. Okay, so the coolant system is now bleeding. Fan is back in, shrouds in, oil cooler lines sitting like that. Mesh in place. Just gotta put the bottom cowl back in, and we'll be cleaning up the rest of the tools, and we'll be good to go home. Okay, everything is back together. Coolant is bled, car is on the ground, and it's time to go home. Okay, so driving home right away, I know my thermostat is working. This was climbing right up all the way to 100 driving on the highway. All the times I've been driving on the highway, it's been 67, 70. It's finally nice to get it up to operating temperature. Check oil light. Oil seems to be good. Oh, actually, that is not good. A second ago, that bar was showing full, so we could have some leaking oil. This is not fun. Okay, so I went inside Tim's for dinner, and then when I came back out, I was taking a look at the engine bay, and I don't see any leaking oil. I don't see any leaking oil squirting out at that connection. Everything looks good over here. And before, when the oil cooler was having a leaking problem, there would already be oil right down here, and I am not seeing any oil, so that's good. Although I did find out that my tire rubs on that, so next week I gotta fix that. Every time I turn to the left too much, then it starts rubbing because that oil cooler sticks out a little farther, so that's not good. I brought oil with me, and I'll refill it when I get home. If needed, I'll keep an eye on that as I'm driving home. Damn, I really miss just the dipsticks. Like, why with all this electronic stuff? I really miss cars having dipsticks like my E36. But got myself some Tim's crispy chicken sandwiches for dinner, and it's time to head home. Okay, I just got home, and then when I checked it right before I got out, it said add a whole liter. So we added in another liter. I don't really see where any oil is leaking, so I think it just wasn't topped up enough and took a couple times for the computer to figure out exactly how much oil it needed. We'll check in on it tomorrow after I drive to work to see if it stays the same or if maybe we are losing oil. I'm home now, and that's everything I got. So if you guys want to stay up to date with the E92 updates, make sure you guys follow along. If you got any questions, drop it down below.